With just under 7 days to go until the Six Nations 2024 starts, I've got another video for you guys. In this one, we'll be looking at the best super sub options. I've just done quite a wide proportion of positions here. I haven't done by every position because I think normally best super sub options probably don't come in the form of a prop or second row. So we haven't got any of them in. Have overloaded the back three though, because obviously back three get lots of running meters. Hookers are also good super sub options as well, especially with rolling mauls. So if you do like the video, drop a like and also leave a comment below on your thoughts. But also subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified about fantasy videos. So the first pick, I've gone with Peter Malvaca. Now, in this one, it could have been either Marchand or Peter Malvaca, but I have gone for Malvaca because I think France like to go for Marchand, especially starting wise. Not sure why, probably because he's more robust, whereas Peter Malvaca can come on and be a bit more dynamic when there's tired legs. I really like Malvaca. I think if he was in any other starting team, maybe without Ireland, he'd probably start. So I really like him, especially with the dynamism and coming off the bench, say like 55-60 minutes like France like to do. Also, they're going to get loads of rolling mauls, and if you've seen him for Toulouse, links up really well with Dupont, who's obviously not playing, but it just shows that he can link up with outside backs. And also people like Untermack is the Toulouse 10 as well. So I think Malvaca is a really good shout if he's on the bench. As I said, skipping props and second row and move straight into the back row. This one, I've gone for Jack Conan. Now, we know Van der Fleer, Doris and Peter Romani are going to be the back row for Ireland, so Jack Conan is a really decent option. He's obviously a British and Irish Lion, but he will do that Doris job so well if and when he comes on. He can come on any of the back row as well, so he 6, 7 or 8, so he can be really consistent there. But he just adds another really dynamic ball carrying threat. I think he has probably been unlucky not to start as many games as he has, but when you've got the likes of Caelan Doris, Van der Fleer and now Omani, who's Ireland captain, it's really hard to try and get in. But Jack Conan for me is a really decent option, especially because Ireland are probably going to win the majority of their games. The next best super sub option, I've actually gone with Cam Redpath. Now, might be a funny one because Scotland are definitely mid-table in the Six Nations. Probably third best team, you'd probably say. Probably top in England if I was to predict the Six Nations table at the end of 2024. But I've picked Cam Redpath. He's got a really nice link up with Finn Russell now down at Bath, so knows the way he plays, can definitely play off him. Also carries quite a bit as well, is a little bit different to Tui Pelotu. However, I think he might be rotated with Hugh Jones instead. He might even get a few starts as well with that link with Finn Russell. But I think when he comes on, he can open up holes and gaps on that pitch, put other players in, so might get assists, but is also a really decent running threat, I think we forget. So I think he's definitely a good option, maybe the best for Scotland, if not Johnny Matthews, of course. Now, the rest of my picks have come in the back three, and to kick it off, I've gone with Jacob Stockdale. So around about 5 years ago, he'd probably be in your starting team, if not captain week in, week out. He was scoring tries for fun in the Six Nations with a dominant Joe Schmidt Ireland team. He's had his injury troubles and obviously been laid out the squad for quite a bit. Now that Matt Hansen is out of the Six Nations, for this year at least, it gives him a chance to either, push for start or come off the bench. And I think they might rotate that last back three option, seeing as though Hugo Keenan and James Lowe are pretty cement. Especially with Ireland's win record in the Six Nations lately, I think they're bound to get lots of points. Matt Hansen is going to be a big loss, but I think Jacob Stockdale can definitely fill his shoes. And on the reverse, we've gone with another Ireland back three in Calvin Nash. So again, in my last video, if you saw, I did best cheap picks. I think Jordan Lama is probably going to pip it for that other winger spot. So the reason why I put Calvin Nash in is because it's a coin toss really. I don't think they're going to have both Stockdale and Calvin Nash on the bench. So if they do, great, we can pick either one of them. But if it's either one, then I think they can have a really good super sub option for us. They're going to come off the bench and essentially just run loads of meters. And Calvin Nash has really been performing for Munster this season. So I think the Irish coaching team really like him. I probably think he's favourite for that last back three option on the bench for Ireland. And then finally, if you've been playing fantasy for quite a while, you know that probably the most solid super sub option is Melvin Jaminet for France. So when he comes on, he's obviously coming on for like Untermac or Thomas Ramos, who are obviously orchestrators of that French attack. Melvin Jaminet usually does come on for Ramos and then usually does take over kicking duties, so he does get good points that way as well. But being fullback, he is likely to get loads of meters, as we know. So Melvin Jaminet, I think, is a really good option. And much like Ireland, right, they're bound to get lots of points because they're one of the best teams, but also going to rack up good points for win as well. So I think Melvin Jaminet is a pretty decent option, if not the best option. So that's my best super sub options for the Six Nations. I haven't done it per round yet, as we've kind of got to see who starts when and who's on the bench when. I think outsiders in this, you've got the likes of Johnny Matthews, who's really good, and may even push for a start for Scotland as well. I would always target the positions that I've set here, so definitely target hooker because they usually do come on around 50-60 minutes, so get a good 20-30 minutes of game time, as well as the back row and back three, right? Back row get interchanged quite early, but also back three, they have the option for lots of running meters, and especially when other teams tire, that can be really, really decent. So I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and also subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.